from the Adams administration. Schools Chancellor David Banks said yesterday that he will retire from his position at the end of the year. In a letter to the mayor, Banks said that after dedicating 40 years of service to the city's public schools, he will retire on December 31st. He also says he'll do everything possible to ensure a smooth transition to the next school's chancellor. It was early in the morning, just 20 days ago on the first day of school, when his home was raided and cell phones were taken by federal authorities as part of their investigation into other top aides to Eric Adams. Banks is among at least 15 other members of the administration that are currently under investigation. Banks, his two brothers, Phil and Terrence, as well as his fiancée, Deputy Mayor Sheena Wright, are all being investigated by federal authorities. Political Director Bob Hart is with me now. Bob, Banks, another longtime ally of the mayor. The city now going to be without a permanent health commissioner, police commissioner, and schools chancellor. These are big roles to fill.
It's been quite a month for the Adams administration. It's all the king's men and women, it feels like, are departing. And listen, even if we take everyone at their word that this has nothing at all to do with the probes, there's as many as 4 different federal probes into City Hall. It's about leadership at key agencies for the city and a vacuum being created. I mean, we're just into the new school year, and the chancellor says he's leaving at the end of the calendar year. We have an acting police commissioner whose house was searched over the weekend, his homes were searched over the weekend. Apparently nothing to do with these probes, but it just feels like turmoil right now in City Hall, Jamie.
We've been trying to wrap our heads around the scope of the crisis that's engulfing City Hall.
Come on, you can wrap it, Jamie. You've been here for how long?
Trying to conjure to sort of give people, an image of what it is. I think that the press briefings do a good job of that. So since February, the table of his deputy mayors at his weekly press briefings, on top is February, and below that was just yesterday. The dais used to be full, and it was a real show of force at the time back in February when he brought everyone out with him and they could all answer their questions. But now, it's like the cheese stands alone a little bit.
Yeah, that's a powerful illustration of the incredible shrinking Adams team. And listen, I think part of the problem is that these briefings, the mayor is sort of like, nothing to see here, what me worry? And I think if there was more of an acknowledgement from the mayor saying, yeah, listen, and also it's also the other thing that jumped out at me is we learned about the school's chancellor after the briefing. So instead of trying to push everything under a rug, acknowledge this, say, listen, it is tumultuous time. We're going to get through this. The city has been through tumultuous times. City Hall has been through tumultuous times. We're going to be okay. That's not the message we're hearing. The message is sort of a message of denial.
Yeah, that's a little bit what some of the mayoral challengers have jumped on, where is the reassurance that everything is going to be okay? Kelly Mena asked the mayor yesterday about the investigations into interim police commissioner Tom Donlin. Here's a little bit of what he said defending Donlin's record.
What I read, and of my knowledge, we're talking about items 20 years ago. New York has raised concern on what happened last week with him after 7 days in my administration. But, the U.S. Attorney's Office would have to answer that, and the FBI would have to answer that. I don't have the answer to that question.
If you take everyone at their word, this is sort of like a classified documents case. But again, the mayor said, I don't have to answer this. Well, it's your interim police commissioner. It's not a good look. And even if this has nothing at all to do with his current job, Donlin has a squeaky clean reputation at the FBI. It's this amazing resume of anti-terrorism. But this happens. And so, again, it's one more distraction. It's one more question of what's going on at One Police Plaza and what's going on inside City Hall.
Well, while we're at it, we have one more investigation that we want to talk about. The city's finance committee looking into the amount of money seized by the city sheriff's office during their raids of illegal cannabis shops. Here's a little bit of Finance Chair Justin Brannan, what he was saying about things just not adding up.
We heard that the NYPD was officially in charge of that, but we still didn't have any answers about how much cash has been seized. That seems to be like a pretty obvious thing that you should have on hand, that you've done X amount of raids. How much cash has been seized in those raids?
This is worrisome, Jamie, because
Shirley McClain taught y'all how to do that.
Cash only for the most part. The legal ones definitely are. And so if you can't account for all this cash, this raises another questions of, you have a lot of people on these scenes. Is money walking away or not? Again, no one's.
That's why black women are always on the mic.
Yet another front.
But doesn't it feel like it should be a really simple answer to where is the cash that was taken during the raid?
Don't y'all remember when de Blasio did that to y'all?
You have the sheriff's office, which is also the sheriff is appointed by the mayor, and you have the NYPD, and you may, depending on the raid, you may also have the FBI or other people from the DA's office. So it's a whole bunch of different people who could be there. The question is who's counting the cash and who's keeping the cash and not walking away with any cash, hopefully.
Helping with our analysis this morning.
This is
on
New
all
York
the various
City.
investigations
Come on, Bob.
Bob, good to see you this morning.